Hey everybody, it's BC here, and welcome to another episode of Planet Nomads. And as you can see, I got myself a nice little perch here. I decided to make a little extension to the base, the lab here, and get a nice view of the areas we have to work with and overlook our projects. As you can see, I've moved we're going to call it a centipede from now on because it's more of a centipede than a train, but I'm thinking about doing another train down the road, make something that actually looks like a locomotive, and then realistically, I only need half of these generators for this many hover pads, so I could have like a couple of box cars made out of the containers and see if we can make like a tanker or something like that. But we'll get into that another time. I've been doing a little bit of cleaning around the landscape here, clearing up a bunch of rocks and shrubs and all that stuff. Give us a lot of area to work with. And yeah, because it was getting cluttered. I couldn't even drive this thing around. I was hitting rocks all over the place and whatnot. I tried to clear up the lag a little bit. Originally, I thought it was the miners over here. So I had shut them off and it wasn't really making a difference. So I just lowered a couple of the graphic settings a little bit and it seems to be a little bit better. I have to keep those running because sadly we're going to run out of titanium soon, just like how we ran out of iron. So let's go down. I've been doing a little bit of experimentation off camera with these hover pads, and there is definitely other uses for them. If you didn't catch the live stream yesterday, I was trying to make a railgun, missile launcher, whatever you want to call it, but things weren't working the way I thought they would. And originally I thought I had to do with the rounded blocks. I got two stations here. I'll get to this one here in a minute here. But this was basically what I had. I had hover pads on the bottom facing up and the hover pads on the top facing down. And I tried to get something to sort of stay in there. Originally I thought I had to do with let me actually turn this on. Originally, I thought it had to do with me using the rounded blocks, and that apparently wasn't the issue. So I'll just give you a little test here. I'll put this here and just add a couple out. Now, you'd think it would actually hover, but I've been noticing it doesn't seem to update the hover mode right away. That it's sort of the physics, these jumps that you get when you're doing stuff with the physics. Maybe building something like this on a suspension might actually allow this to work. But as you can see, I have everything set to hover. I just keep it on low because from what I've seen, it was a good idea. But this is what we got so far, and it just drops. But if I start taking it off, and then sometimes it'll drop, it'll go. And I'm actually on the wrong spot. I notice it doesn't activate when you're right at the tip. So we'll go ahead and place another one on this side. I did a couple of tests. Still can't figure out why that works or why that happens. And since we got the tool, we'll just get rid of that. Place the rest in, and of course it's raining. So if I place it on this side, again it doesn't do anything. But as soon as I touch it, it starts bouncing on hover pads. That's a hole. I'm going to make a suggestion to the developers about some sort of patching compound, something to use this supposed dirt we get from the miners mixed with, let's say, carbon and maybe a little bit of silicone, and you just place it here and it'll actually just place, like, let's say a standard base foundation at the lowest point of the hole, just to sort of, a little patch or something to fill it up. But yeah, so that was that. And then I thought that maybe it had something to do with me using the sloped blocks. So then I tried doing it with these ones. And apparently that wasn't the actual case. Let me spin this around. And the reason I was trying to use these is because you can't side snap on the curved surface. Same with the sloped pieces. So I was trying to use that to reduce friction. But that didn't quite work as planned, because it just did the same thing and it just dropped, and I couldn't figure out why it did that. Now it's on the spot where it should be. This one's not going. But anyways, so I decided to do another test here, and I've gotten into the habit of turning these things off because power is not good. I've had my rover die so many times. So we'll turn these two on. Now, I will have to modify this a little bit, but this seems to be working pretty good. So we'll go ahead and we'll place, I gotta get inside to load this thing. I will have to reposition everything, but as you can see, The hover pad needs a certain space around it. Now I'm going to compact it a little bit. This one's going to be upside down. And I'll show you what's going to happen here. You can actually use anything with this. We only need a 1x1. And I'll just go ahead and fill it in. Or finish it, whatever. Zap it with my magical laser. Alright, I'm going to get out of the way for this. That's actually where this came from. I was doing a quick test before I started recording. But take it off, and off it goes. So immediately, what I think is going on is these two are trying to push its center, and then that's when this one starts grabbing it. So it's interesting how it works. So what I want to try to do is I want to rebuild this, but have a fourth one on top, and see if I can compact it a little bit more. Because I know I can have a 3x3 area in the center, and I only need a one spot or a single spot to build the projectile. So I'm going to try to recreate that, and if this works, and you've probably seen the thumbnail already if it did, this is going to be quite the build. So let me rebuild this off camera. Okay, this is what I got. So yeah, I got them all going a hole in the ground, of course. So I got this one pointing up this way, this one pointing up this way, this one pointing this way, this one pointing this way. So realistically, that block there is the dead center of this. Now, if these all work right, it's either going to do one of two things. One, my projectile is going to either hover or vibrate right in the center, or two, it's going to break my game. And I'm sure we've all seen this enough of the videos on this channel to know what could possibly happen. Yes, I have to use 2 reactors for this, but I don't care. I have these. I got so much stuff being produced right now, it's not that big of a deal. Now, loading is going to be an issue, and I think we're going to try the short wall sections, because it's just easier trying to get in here, just because those hover pads actually have quite the hitbox. So I just put a basic block down as my starting point. And I always have trouble placing this. For some reason it always wants to, well, now it works, but usually it tries to connect itself to the reactor or the hover pad and goes on an angle. And let's see here. Alright, and we'll see if we can actually finish it. Alright, so everything is set onto hover. As you can see, hover, and they're all set to low hover height too. Just save the freak out, right? So let's see what happens. Let's actually take build mode off so we can observe. Okay, interesting. So now, let's see if we can... Oh, it disappeared. Oh! It went underneath. Okay, interesting. Unfortunately, I can't have them closer to each other because this one, the hitboxes sort of collide with each other. Let's actually try that. I never did actually try putting this right up here. Yeah, why not? Oh, yeah. I guess build mode would help. Let's see if we can actually place it there. No, we can't. No, it won't let me. So that's why I had it like that. Unfortunately, it didn't work. Let's try a 2x2. So let me get everything back together and hooked up, and then I'll bring it back when it's ready. Let's actually try something here. I just set them all to high hover height, and let's see what happens with this. Because maybe if it's stronger, it'll hold it in place better. And then if this all works, then I have these set for directional, and I have a cockpit, and then the way the hover pads work, if I have it so they're in this position, this would go in and this would come out, and it should technically push it that way, sort of like a not a centrifuge, particle accelerator, using like high magnets to do everything. Of course, loading this thing is going to be a pain. It's not going to be an auto load system like I was intending, but it's okay. If this project works out, it's going to be huge. It'll be well worth it. Be just a waste of resources, if anything. Alright, let's try this one. Again, we'll take build mode off so we can see what's going on and stay clear. Aha! Sorta. Huh. Interesting. Alright, well, let's see what happens when it's in that position and we hook it up to a cockpit. So let me get this all wired up and I'll bring you back. Okay, so it's all set up. I got all the wheels, or hover pads I should say, synced up the right direction. I don't know if it's actually going the direction I need it to go, but we're going to find out. So go ahead and place that there, and then we'll keep using these just because it's quicker. Only 2 pieces instead of like 20 or whatever it's going to be to fill this chamber. But one more. There we go. And let's see what happens. Well, we know what's going to happen this time, but let's see what happens when I actually use them. So the hover height is set to high. You know, maybe bring it down to medium would help a little bit. So it's stuck on the left again. That actually worked. Not necessarily the way I wanted, but as you can see, as I turned them like that, they actually forced it out. So I think I'm going ahead with my project. Hee hee hee. So what I'm going to do, let me get out of here first. So that it did work. Of course, it's not going to fly straight, but it's about as compact as it's going to get, really. It's a 5 by 5. I'll try to get it all structurally sound. It's going to be hover pads to lift the turret, going to be hover pads to turn the turret, and we're going to use the big wheels. We're going to go on a big build here. And let's go up to the observation deck and find out where a good place to build this is. I'm actually feeling confident about this because they fixed the physics. Mind you, I complained a little bit, but I'm not saying it's only me. But oh damn it! Almost made it. I could have made this higher too if I wanted. I know I can go up a good 5 stories with this, but this is fine. So, oh, there's a projectile. That actually went a fair distance. I almost want to try it with a 2x2 before we do this. Let's do that. Just to see how it goes. And maybe I'll even try to build it out of the round sections, try to make that torpedo I had last time. So let me get this all built, if I can get in here, and I'll bring you back. Can I get in there? No, I can't, but I'll bring you back when I got built. Okay, well, I just tried building a 2x2 in there, and you can't actually place a block next to the things, so that's why I was using the 1x1. So that's going to be our projectile, that's going to be our cannon. I have been making the level 2 fabrics to make the big base wheels. We're going to make a big ass tank. So let me start building. Well, there it is. I have not done any testing on this whatsoever. If I attempted to do something like this before that physics update, the wheels, the suspensions, I'm talking both types of wheels and suspensions, the rotor, or rotational plate, plus that hinge there, and the new hover pads, would probably cause a black hole on my planet and cause this entire game to get sucked into oblivion and never to be reloaded again. I do have to make one little change here. I put this slope here, sort of like a cradle for this to come down. I was thinking that I was going to stop it from rotating, but that's not the case. So, and I mean like this. I do have to switch change between the wheels and these wheels and the hover pads and all that stuff with the different reactors, so I can actually control it and actually drive it. But this part here, I'm thinking if I don't fall off it again. I don't know how many times I fell off it. I have to go through the recording and count them, but I'm thinking probably just, oh, there's that autosave. Wow. I gotta change the timing on that. But I'm thinking just put a couple of legs down here. Get back into build mode. I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen. I actually thought I had 6 wheels on this, not 5, so I don't know if it's actually going to be drivable. I do that, and then we go ahead and do the 2. So after I fire the cannon and I want to drive it, I lower, just to make sure I have it centered up, I cut the power to the hover pads. This will actually drop down and hopefully drop in place into here. The hover pads, I will have to do adjustments on these hover pads and probably the wheels, but we'll deal with that when the time comes. I love how this thing bounces all over the place. It's like, don't touch me, don't touch me. Like it was bucking back and forth before. Oh wait, that's on the deck now. Yeah, at this point I have absolutely no idea what's gonna happen. I'm just doing it for the sake of it. Speaking of doing it for the sake of it, I have to find a seriously good supply of iron, because I have absolutely nothing coming to this system whatsoever. Like, it is garbage. Come on. Come on, I want you to nudge over a little bit. I don't think I can actually push it, can I? Why will it let me... Oh yeah, because it's not on there. Let's try this. Get it to jump. That wasn't enough. That'll be fine. We got one of them in there now. I'm actually curious to see how this thing is. I was coming back from passing the night away. I actually took a bit of a break for dinner. You can see it's not actually sitting on the floor properly. Oh, I think what's going on is maybe it's sitting on the other slope on the other side. Yes, it is. But that's fine. That's just going to keep it from going anywhere. But yeah, I want to see if this is actually going to work or break the game or be crazy. I have no idea. I was going to dress it up a little bit, but yeah, I just don't have anything to dismantle a few things that I wasn't using, like... there's that elevator test thing there with the hover jack. I had to get rid of the base and a couple of other things there, and a few other scraps laying around, trying to gather up whatever I could. But first, let's see if we can get this thing driving. So the wheels were, I believe, this one. Oh, they need fuel. That's right. Let's actually turn them all off first. I do know which one's which. I believe, yes, this one is for these 4 wheels. This one here is for the big wheels. This one here is for the hover pads on the sides to get the angle. And then these 2, of course, are for the rest of them. So let's just make sure everything's turned off. And then I do have some rods on me. So let's go ahead and fill her up. Did that actually take it? No, it didn't. It has to actually be on. Okay. Why does it have to be on to actually take the power? I have no idea. Or to take the fuel. That's fine. Yes, my game's getting a little laggy now. Alright, turn that off. Turn you on. Yeah, a little bit of a lag spike as it gets power. I don't know what happened with those hover pads. Oh, that's right, you gotta turn it on first. Okay. So, first of all, we're gonna do a wheel test, which is gonna be this one, 700 amps. Like I said, I have them on slow, so they all should have power. Okay. Now, for the moment of truth. The jack. I had the double jack this one. Yeah. Hold your breath. Wow. Yeah, the suspension maxed out too. Okay, let's see if we can drive it. Oh wait, I gotta set my steering. Hang on. I'm gonna try to do it sort of tank style, where it sort of turns in the middle. So yeah, opposite steering in the back, and then we'll have forward steering in the front. Or, by the way, I have no idea what it is, I just know that's how it works. I'll go to the other side. I probably should just run underneath it because I'm still high enough off the ground. Okay, and then these two. Okay. Don't need a ladder for this one, we can just use the jetpack. Oh my god, it's actually moving. Unbelievable. Alright, we gotta crank up the speed here. That's just insane. I gotta go to third person on that. I might have to bring the suspension down a little bit. Because it seems to be sitting on two of them. I don't think that'd be a smart thing to do while underneath it. I should have left the plates open so I could adjust them up inside. But it shouldn't take that long here. I will continue recording just in case something goes horrifically wrong and I die. Again. Yes, again. Here's a question for all of you. How many times have I died in this series? I'm not going to bother counting all the times. I just know it's been enough, so I'm going to let you count it. Yeah, we'll try with the suspension as it is. Definitely drives. I wish you could zoom out on the camera, because we're right at the back of this thing. I was thinking about putting the cab on the side. I don't know if changing the field of view will change that. Let me see here. Third person. See what that does. It doesn't do anything. I thought it'd give me a little more of a view, but that's not the case. Gameplay. I don't even know what it's set at. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Good enough for me. Why are those wheels turning? They shouldn't have power. They're not powered. Those wheels actually think they're touching the ground, so they're rolling. Interesting little bugs. Alright, well this is torque, so let me see if we can actually drive this thing with speed. And I'm going to cut for that one. Okay, I got them all set to speed, and I changed the suspension down to medium, so we'll see how it is. Oh, it really does need torque. That is crazy. Unless I did something wrong. Unless we're touching something, which I highly doubt. Yeah. I guess we do need torque. Alright, change it back to torque. Okay. Yes, so it has to be on torque setting. This thing is heavy. I have no idea how heavy it is. It is getting dark, so let's see if we can swing it around the back of the rides there and take it for test fire in the morning. Definitely drives like a tank. It's supposed to be a tank. It's funny how the wheels are turning though. It's another good reason to keep the hover pads turned off while I'm driving it. I think I forgot to set the direction on them, I'm not sure. Oh, what's in the way? What's in the way? Oh, that's the hover pads. So the question is, what's our target? That's our target. I'm going to drive this thing back out here in the morning. And we're going to fire at that thing. Or attempt to. In fact, I'm going to turn this thing around right here. So I'm going to do this off camera because this is painfully slow and it's getting dark. And I'll bring you back when then time to load this bad boy up. I tell you, flying through the compound at night with field vision on, it's almost like it's Christmas. All the pretty colorful lights everywhere. A little bit of green because I'm trying to go green. Save on that green, which just happens to be the uranium. Anyway. Okay, it is morning. Time to unwrap my present. I almost didn't see it behind this ride, but it's a little ways behind it. Not really, but it's... I'm sorry, this is just massive. It could have been bigger. I was going to put an extra foundation on it, but I figured this would be enough. So I do have it lined up. I'll hop in the cockpit and get the perfect line of sight right now. You gotta go in third person to see, but yeah, basically. So let's get out of here. So I do have these wheels turned off, so what I need to do now is turn on the hover pads, which are, I think that was the middle one. Yes, and they need to be beefed up a little bit, apparently. I hope they're not stuck anywhere. I could probably get rid of these ones here. Like I said, I haven't actually tested this yet. And I have a feeling we're going to have a physics freak out here in a minute. You know me. Alright, well, it's going to be this one. It's just too heavy. Really? Well, we're going to have to put a couple more hover pads on then. It's the only option. Put one there. Oh wait, that's not going to do anything. It's got to go... Come on. Got to go there, and one on the other side. Like I said, I haven't actually tested this thing, so I don't know if it's even going to work. Apparently it can't actually hover. And then we'll go connect that to the power. So hover, full power. Now take U. Oops. That. There and there. It's a good thing I left room for more of them. It's almost enough. Alright, well I gotta do a quick fine tune here and I'll bring you back. Okay, I can't figure that out. So let's test the aiming of the turret, like the rotation. The lift, I can't figure this out. I got 10 hover pads here and they're all full strength. This should be going up, but it's not. So anyways, Let's go turn on. Let's go turn on the wheels, which were this one here. Okay, we got those going, and then we need to turn these on. The side hovers aren't controlled by anything, so I can leave those turned on. It doesn't really matter. That was just there for, like the power supply was just so I could dock it, so when I'm trying to drive it, it's not rolling back and forth. But anyways, yeah, so to fire it, I basically go forward. I'll actually show you, and then the left and right controls. No, it doesn't. Oh, I didn't think of that. So yeah. Oh, I didn't think of that either. Alright, so let's, well then we have to turn these off first then, to do the aiming. It's a little awkward. I probably should have had them out on the deck somewhere, but I didn't know where to put them. I didn't expect the top section of this to be so big. Because now I have to use forward and backwards to actually turn it. As you can see, they're turning. I guess I could have left them powered. That's fine. But this allows us to rotate all the way, like I was expecting it to do. I gotta try to come up with some way of making a crane with this. What we need is to be able to customize key bindings. Like instead of having W and S controlling those, I should be able to use like Q and E or N and M if I want, sort of like how Besiege has custom stuff. Let's see if we can get ourselves aligned up here. And get out, that should stop those wheels. And, oh, and I fell off again, even in third person. Okay, so let me get out of there. That confuses me sometimes. Alright, those were this one, yes. Okay, that's turned off. So now, all we gotta do is turn this on and load it. And hopefully I turn the right one on. There we go. I want the green lights, not the red lights. So, it's just a matter of getting the projectile in there. Without this thing killing me. And that's what worries me, and I don't want to stand on it while I'm placing the blocks. Okay, so can I get in there? Can I? No, I can't. Yes, I can. Alright, then we go to a number 7. Yeah, I hear you. And I'm actually going to make it 3 long, have it sticking out, if I can. How do we do this? All the lights are in my face, I can't see. There it is. And I know, there it is. I saw it snap. It's 2. Yes, it's a little awkward loading this thing, but when is anything I do ever easy? Okay. Now I can finish it. And that's all 3. And it is getting dark, so let us do this. Oh, get me up there. Okay. It's loaded. We prepped the round. Round is prepped and ready to go. Let's get into third person on this one. Okay, let's fire. Why are my wheels turning? Damn it. I don't want my wheels to turn. Oh, and I got stuck because I was turning at the same time. Oh, that sucks. I should enable steering on those things. Give me a second here. Okay. I went and had a bit of a nap. I turned the ones on the sides to have steering. I'm going to actually take this out. See if this helps any. I might have to reload it. I think it's jammed, man. I think that's the problem. But why are these damn wheels turning when they're not powered? So I don't get. They shouldn't be. See, why are they turning? I just don't get that. So what I'm going to do then is I'm actually going to block the wheels. Alright, so I got a handy dandy block. Put it there. And we'll go up here and let's turn it to the right till we hit that wheel. Apparently we're not going to hit that wheel. Now we will. Alright, let's try this again. What was that? Did it just hurt me? I'm sure it did. Good enough. Alright, well, let's reload it. The only thing I can think of. It worked. It did work, and now it doesn't want to, of course. You have one piece of the puzzle, it works okay. You have multiple pieces of the puzzle, and no, it just doesn't want to go together. Right pieces, wrong puzzle, maybe? Alright, let's try this again. Let's, we'll just do a double. I don't think I can handle a triple. Yeah, the rain doesn't help with the lag. Alright, 7. That wasn't me, I promise. That is these hover pads. Now, can I get in there? Please? Ugh. Yeah, I didn't think loading this thing through too well. See if I can get to it from the top. Yeah, of course I can, yes. And I can actually see my axis of rotation as well. Even though it's probably not the safest place to be when you're loading this thing. I've already had it. Was it this one that launched me? I can't remember. Okay. Let's see if we can get at least one good test fire off of this thing. Then we can park it for good with the rest of the failed experiments around here. Okay. And fire. Ah, it did go. About 50 meters. If I was able to actually raise the turret up a little bit, it probably would have worked. But something flew out of it and it wasn't part of the machine. That's a good thing today. Very good. Anyways, let's go park it over here. Get out of this third-person view. Not my thing. That's not what I want. I want to turn that off. Turn these off too. This, I can't understand why this is working. I was wondering if there's something different about those single pillars, like the short wall section, and the specialty blocks, like the slopes and the curved pieces. If they respond as well to the hover parts, the hover pads, as everything else. And so I was doing some testing. They seemed to be okay, but it wasn't quite what I was expecting. It's slow, but it drives. That's all I can say. Okay, I had to make sure the turret wasn't moving, but that's weird that the wheels are moving when they're not powered. Oh, they're connected to a power source, but the power source is turned off. So I don't know why they're turning. They shouldn't be. Anyways, let's go take this for a little slow crawl over here. Probably should have waited till I built this thing to start leveling all the rocks. I could probably use this to just crumble them. Surprisingly, it moves though. I really wish I could get a further viewpoint than this. But, wow. Let's put it right over here. Let's actually put it right next to the projectile there. I'm just amazed that the physics didn't destroy anything. I was expecting this thing to be airborne. I was actually going to put a beacon on it just in case. Okay, let's park it right here. Go ahead and shut the power off. Nice 3-story monster. Get out of there, please. Thank you. Turn. Oh, weird. I was seeing that icon through here. Alright, well, let's go up to the observatory. Well, it's sort of worked. Again, it was just an experiment. There's other ideas that could come of these things, like possibly little launch vehicles. I don't know. I've also been thinking about like express elevators as well. Oh, that's not good because I'm on a jetpack. Ay! Ow! Really? You think so? Okay, I'm dragging this on. Let's get this over with. Okay, there we go. Yeah, she's pretty big. I think it's about the biggest thing around here I built besides this place. But there we have it. That's my attempt at a tank with a somewhat working turret. It was big. It took a couple hours to build. Took every scrap iron I could spare around this place. But all in all, it didn't blow up. It didn't go into space. I call it a success. But anyways, I thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave me a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.